in New York. This is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight with this monster hurricane slamming Jamaica at this hour. A Category 5 hurricane, winds up to 185 miles per hour. Authorities are calling this life-threatening. The images coming in at this hour, the strongest storm to ever make landfall on the island. Reports of damage coming in now. Residents and tourists riding out the storm, up to 40 inches of rain possible. Homes and structures destroyed, boats lifted out of the water, power lines crashing down. Videos circulating online tonight showing major damage to a hospital, metal and power lines blocking the exit, the road leading to the hospital unpassable tonight. Residents and tourists, many taking shelter. Reports that resorts there are now converting ballrooms and auditoriums to make room. Hurricane Melissa, right now a Category 4, now on track to make its second landfall in Cuba in just hours, then the Bahamas. Ginger Z standing by with this new track. Ike Ajachi leading us off from Kingston, Jamaica tonight.
Tonight, families on the island nation of Jamaica in the eye of the storm, facing the strongest hurricane they've ever seen. Category 5 Melissa, packing 185-mile-an-hour winds, slamming ashore this afternoon near the town of New Hope in southwestern Jamaica. Local resident Daniel Barnes shooting these videos in St. Elizabeth Parish as Melissa made landfall, documenting the ferocious winds. Just listen. In Black River, videos circulating online showing major damage to the local hospital, sheet metal and power lines blocking the exit. Not far from there, boats running aground in Great Bay, wind and rain howling in the hills. Waves pushing walls of water on shore.
Take a look at this storm surge, 13 feet in some spots, affecting the entire southern coastline of Jamaica.
Authorities warning no infrastructure can survive these winds, begging everyone who didn't evacuate to stay put.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave.
Some areas could get up to 40 inches of rain. Melissa cutting a path of destruction across the island all the way to Montego Bay. Hotels packing stranded tourists and staff into ballrooms and auditoriums.
They're starting to board up some glass doors.
Deborah Shields from Houston is stuck at her hotel outside Montego Bay.
Pray that we get home. Like at this point, at the end of the prayer, right before you say amen, say, I pray that they all can get a flight home.
U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters flying into Melissa, reporting they were forced to abort another mission today because the turbulence was so strong. One of the meteorologists who flew this mission said it was both stunning to see and horrifying to think about the damage it will cause. As Melissa tears across Jamaica, Cuba is next. Authorities are now racing to move some 500,000 people to higher ground tonight.
David, the center of Melissa has now moved off the coast of Jamaica, but strong winds and storm surge persist. Damage assessments are underway, and authorities are hoping they'll be able to reopen the main airport here in Kingston to start flying relief flights by Thursday. David?
All right, Ike Ajachi and the team there on Jamaica's island, thank you for your coverage. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. The latest track is in. Ginger, what do you see?
Yeah, there have only been two other hurricanes in all of recorded history that have made landfall with this strong of winds. So really, in the Atlantic Basin, this one stands out. But the next couple of hours, they'll still have impacts on Jamaica. We've lost the eye. That doesn't mean much for Cuba, though. You're still going to have a major hurricane making landfall, I'd say, between midnight and 2 a.m. So let's time it out. Some of the heaviest winds the strongest winds and the heaviest rain are going to come through again in that overnight into early morning hours. Then Wednesday afternoon, Exuma, Long Island, the central Bahamas picking up the worst of it as at least a Cat 2, if not a little stronger. So we'll be moving that to the north and east, and I'll show you that in a moment. But we're still concerned tonight about the flash flood threat. There will be a few more inches in Jamaica, but it's all about Cuba, 2 feet possible, and then we kick it out. Bermuda could see this Thursday into Friday, David.
Ginger Z with us here tonight. Ginger, we'll see you first thing in the morning on GMA. Tonight.
All right, say it plugs it in. Perfect. We'll start the car. I need a tap to begin the scan. Now my $2,000 scan tool said it was a catalytic converter. Let's see what this little device does for us. Wow, incredible.
Tonight, the U.S. military striking 4 alleged drug vessels in the Pacific. Authorities say 14 people have been killed. Reports of 1 survivor. And what we've learned, here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, the Pentagon announcing the single deadliest day of strikes against alleged drug smugglers they accuse of trying to traffic drugs into the United States. These two boats side by side in the Eastern Pacific as an American missile struck. 4 boats total destroyed, 14 people killed. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying there was 1 survivor and that the Mexican Navy would coordinate their rescue. But Mexico tonight says that person has not been found. In all, the U.S. has killed 57 people since President Trump began this campaign last month.
Those drug ships aren't coming in anymore. We can't find a ship. There's no ships coming in with drugs.
Trump has declared these are terrorists and that the U.S. is in an armed conflict, but he has publicly provided no evidence of their alleged crimes or even identified them.
Is it too much to ask to know the names of those we kill before we kill them? To know what evidence exists of their guilt?
Trump claims the alleged drug trafficking is being orchestrated by Venezuela's authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro and says he has authorized covert CIA missions inside that country. The Pentagon surging firepower to the region, sending in the USS Gerald Ford and its strike group. Trump has said he's exploring land strikes in Venezuela. Maduro's government says Trump's real goal is not fighting drug trafficking, but a forced regime change in Venezuela. And tonight on Capitol Hill, some lawmakers sounding the alarm.
It's not going to make us any safer to get into a war in Venezuela about regime change. When has regime change worked out well for us?
Now, President Trump says the U.S. is in an armed conflict with the drug cartels, but he hasn't gotten congressional approval to go to war. And tonight, on both sides of the aisle, concerns he's going too far. David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House. Mary, thanks. Now to the government shutdown, day 28. More than 40 million Americans now set to lose food benefits in just days. The Department of Agriculture now saying the well has run dry, in their words. Tonight, more than 24 states now suing the Trump administration, saying this is cruelty. Jay O'Brien on the Hill tonight.
Tonight, day 28 of the government shutdown, and now 42 million lower-income Americans are about to lose critical food assistance. The Department of Agriculture now saying, quote, the well has run dry. And tonight, 24 Democrat-led states suing the Trump administration to force it to use emergency funds to cover SNAP.
I mean, enough of this. Cruelty is the policy. That's what this is about. It's intentional cruelty, intentionally creating anxiety for millions and millions of people.
That means Americans across at least 48 states, like Dana Tuller, a mother of 5 working 3 different jobs, will lose SNAP benefits come the 1st of November.
I'm angry. I'm angry that the politicians that make the decisions don't care. They can just go on vacation, go on recess, and not worry about what's happening to their constituents.
Tonight, tens of thousands of workers furloughed, many not getting paychecks, including workers who keep the skies safe. Air traffic controllers working 6 days a week, now missing their first full paycheck, pay stubs like this one reading 0. Democrats holding firm, saying Republicans must join them in addressing a looming health insurance crisis. Democrats fighting for an extension of expiring Obamacare tax credits, which would keep premiums from skyrocketing for some 20 million Americans.
We're on the precipice of a historic crisis, and Republicans don't even want to talk to us about fixing it. And Trump, where's he? Not even in the U.S.
And tonight, in a break with her party, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene acknowledging she lashed out on a Republican call, accusing the GOP of not having a plan to tackle health care costs. Greene writing today she confronted Speaker Johnson, saying, I have no respect for the House not being in session, and I demanded to know from Speaker Johnson what the Republican plan for health care is.
David, back to SNAP. That program has never run out of money in its more than 60-year history, including the longest shutdown to date during the first Trump administration. David.
Now just days away, Jay O'Brien live on the Hill. Thank you. Tonight, President Trump overseas addressing American troops in Japan, hinting at deploying U.S. troops to American cities. And while traveling overseas, the president on the idea of a third term and what House Speaker Mike Johnson tonight is now saying about that. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight in Japan, President Trump wrapping his arm around the new Prime Minister, Sanai Takaichi, as he addressed U.S. troops in what felt a lot like a political rally.
The first female Prime Minister in the history of Japan.
On the world stage, the president telling the troops he plans to expand his campaign of sending the military into American cities.
We can't have cities that are troubled. And we're sending in our National Guard, and if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send more than the National Guard.
As he travels abroad, the president stoking talk he could seek a third term in the White House, though that is not permitted by the Constitution.
I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. If you read it, am I not ruling it out? And you'll have to tell me.
But tonight, the president's close ally, House Speaker Mike Johnson, was definitive, saying, quote, "I don't see the path for Trump to run again in 2028. Johnson said he spoke to Trump just this morning.
It's been a great run, but I think the president knows, and he and I have talked about the constrictions of the Constitution. I don't see a way to amend the Constitution because it takes about 10 years to do that, as you all know.
David, President Trump flies to South Korea tonight for the APEC summit, but the main event comes on Thursday when the president sits down with Chinese President Xi. U.S. officials say they have negotiated a framework to avert a trade war, but nothing has been finalized. David.
All right, Rachel Scott traveling with the president. Thank you. We turn now to the American economy tonight. Amazon cutting 14,000 employees, pointing to artificial intelligence. And UPS says it will now lay off 48,000 workers. Here's Elizabeth Schulze.
Tonight, massive layoffs at the world's largest online retailer. Amazon slashing 14,000 corporate jobs, signaling more cuts to come as artificial intelligence dramatically reshapes the American workforce. In a note to employees, the retail giant writing, "The world is changing quickly. This generation of AI is the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet. We're convinced that we need to be organized more leanly." And just ahead of the busy holiday shopping season, UPS announcing 48,000 job cuts today, too. Meta, Microsoft, Google, and Intel also announcing cuts earlier this year, pointing to AI's potential to perform tasks instead of humans.
Right now, the skills that AI does have, many of them are impacting white-collar workers more than blue-collar workers.
Today, I asked the CEO of NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company that makes computer chips powering AI, if this is just the beginning.
Should American workers be bracing for more job cuts from AI, and what can they do to prepare for the future?
AI is going to change every job, but you're not going to lose your job to an AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. And so I would advise everyone to engage AI.
David, with those layoffs tonight at major American employers like UPS and Amazon, economists say that AI is helping companies cut their costs because the technology allows them to do more work with fewer people. David.
Potentially sweeping changes ahead. Elizabeth, thank you. Tonight, the alarming scene on Interstate 59 in Mississippi. A truck carrying research monkeys, possibly infected from hepatitis to COVID, crashing on the highway. Here's Mola Lengi.
Tonight, the urgent search for dangerous research monkeys that escaped from the wreckage of a crash on a Mississippi highway.
We got 21 monkeys that was on this, got 5 of them on the run.
Video showing several monkeys crawling in the grass. Heavily armed officers responding to the scene. Authorities say a truck carrying nearly 24 rhesus monkeys from Tulane University overturned on Interstate 59 in Jasper County.
Here's one of the monkeys right here. There's one sitting right there.
At least 6 monkeys escaping. Officials warning they might be aggressive towards people and were potentially infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID.
They may have to neutralize something out here in a minute.
And late today, police confirming all but one of the escaped monkeys have been euthanized for public safety reasons, adding they're still actively searching for that one monkey still on the loose.
Well, David, the monkeys that did not escape from the truck are said to be okay and accounted for, David. All right, Mola Lengi tonight. When we come back here, news on that chase, the suspect going more than 150 miles per hour. What we've now learned about the suspect tonight and who it was who stopped him on the highway. Also the horrific scene, a Pittsburgh Penguins fan falling from the upper level of the arena, landing in another fan, crashing through the safety glass. And the discovery tonight, a Dr. Seuss book never published until now, where it was found in a moment here.
It's Way Day! Score up to 80% off area rugs, up to 60% off mattresses, up to 60% off bedroom furniture, and way more. So don't miss it. Way Day runs October 26th through 29th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. The authentic Jersey way. You can't fake that. And look, you can fake a lot of stuff these days. You can fake my outfit. but you can't fake freshly sliced turkey. You can fake these haunches, but you can't fake freshly sizzled bacon. Nay, you just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. It's nice to be back in my real body. Number 13, please. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Tonight, authorities identifying the suspect in that high-speed chase outside Los Angeles. Police say Angelo Jose Saldivar killed a deputy and was trying to escape, at times going more than 150 miles per hour. Another deputy swerving into the motorcycle to stop him. That suspect hospitalized. Tonight, a hockey fan is in critical condition, falling from the second level at a Pittsburgh Penguins game, hitting another fan and shattering the safety glass. That other fan is okay. When we come back tonight, the passenger stabbing two other passengers. That flight diverted to Boston, what authorities are saying. And a Halloween tradition returns. You loved them right here. They have outdone themselves again, and you'll see them in a moment. To the index of other news, a Lufthansa flight from Chicago to Germany was diverted to Boston, a passenger allegedly stabbing two teenagers with a metal fork. The suspect was arrested and charged with assault. A never-before-published Dr. Seuss book has now been discovered. Sing the 50 United States will be published in June to mark the country's 250th birthday. Author Theodore Geisel died in 1991. The manuscript was found earlier this year at the Geisel Library at UC San Diego. That was an epic Game 3. The Dodgers, the Blue Jays, 18 innings, 6 hours, 39 minutes. Freddie Freeman ending it with that game-winning home run. The Dodgers lead the series 2-1. The next game, of course, tonight. When we come back here, they are a Halloween favorite. You met them right here, and they're ready to scare you again tonight. Finally tonight here, Halloween is almost here, and so are the Mombies, and they are America Strong. Tonight, with Halloween 3 days away, the moms are back. They're not zombies, they call themselves the Mombies. Moms dressing up together, dancing together, raising money for breast cancer research. Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Let's go!
You first met them right here 2 years ago. We've celebrated them every year since. And tonight they tell us ABC World News viewers have donated more than $150,000. And those Mombies are back with what you told them, your generosity, your kind words.
Deb from North Carolina who said, the Mombies are an inspiration. From Elizabeth in Grand Junction, who said from a very grateful cancer survivor. Norman in Virginia, in honor of his wife, a 49-year cancer survivor. Carlos from Texas, who said, go Mombies, you're doing so much good in the world. All of this really filled our cauldron.
50 moms in all from Fairfield, Connecticut, 10 years strong. Among them, two you met right here before, moms battling breast cancer. Karen Sullivan practicing her dance moves during chemotherapy. Joy Martini, her nurses dancing with her.
Look at us, look at us.
Tonight, Joy now tells us she's healthy, no signs of cancer. And joining us tonight, Joy with Karen, who is still in the fight, getting chemotherapy and hopeful.
Thank you so much for all that you have done, that you're doing for those of us with metastatic breast cancer, including myself.
And putting the Mombies on the screen every year, we totally appreciate it. It's so important in our efforts to raise money for people dealing with what you're dealing with.
And tonight, all of those moms rehearsing their newest routine with 3 days to go and a new message from those Mombies.
Thanks, ABC, and happy Halloween!
They are terrifying. The Mombies, we sure do love you. If you'd like to help them out and join the fight against breast cancer, visit mombies.org. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. It's not Halloween without them. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.
Create studio quality videos instantly. Imagine creating a stunning animated AI video faster than it takes to make a coffee. With Video Express AI, you can describe any scene or upload any image, and the AI generates a cinematic video with full motion, sound, and emotion. Turn static photos into lifelike talking or singing videos. Use AI face swap